Welcome back for our final meeting of this wild evening that we've been having, am I right? So, thank you all for spending time with us this evening, even though it turned out to be quite a wild time. So, if for whatever reason you're just joining the party, hello. Also, we are currently at a party, a dinner party, I suppose, kind of what it turned into be, slumber party, at Gnormville, and we made it safely to the yarn corner. So what had happened was, tragically, the owner of the Gnormville campground was tragically murdered. It was very, very sad. We've all been, the city of Gnormville and surrounding areas have been in quite an uproar all evening long. And so finally, my friends, we can hear sirens, I believe, in the distance, and everything is going to be all right because we have figured out who done it. So, alrighty. So how this has worked from the very first, we had 9 suspects, 9 locations, and 6 weapons. I had them all linked down below, all of those things, so you guys could take guesses. We played it much like the game Clue, not affiliated. How you doing? And you guys would guess one of each of the things, and then I would tell you, mark things off of the list, and we dwindled it down, and told you guys whenever there's a winner, there will be a prize. So we officially have 2 winners, which is very exciting, but before we even worry anything about that, I think first things first, am I right? We should see who done it. So, we have our list of everyone, all of those things. They said slowly marked them off. Some of our locations, everything weapon-wise had to do with yarny things. All of our locations were either in Gnormville or things related to this here Chanel, so craft fairs, yarn corners, things like that. But we safely made it to the yarn corner at one point, so we didn't have to worry about that. So that was fun. So in here, my friends, are the answers. So I had a few different people guess a couple of different things. And like I said, I've told you guys for a while now that people have been really, really close, like one thing off. It's been pretty wild. So I had 2 people guess that it was the Gnormville Halloween house, Professor Collymore, and yarn. Let's see if they're correct, because I didn't have any of those cards. Very cool, like for playing Clue, you know. Professor Collymore in the Gnormville Halloween house. The irony, am I right? This was a random draw, by the way, with the yarn. Bum bum bum. Bum bum. Case solved. So, thank you all for playing. I appreciate you so very much. So the 2 ladies that guessed that were Miss Lisa and Miss Angela, and I would just like to point out I thought Lisa was gonna have this thing in the bag like the 2nd or 3rd day. She was like the one I kept saying, someone's like one thing away. Now that we're at the end of it, I can tell y'all, Lisa was like one thing away almost every time, and I was just like, you're so close, but I can't tell her, you know what I mean? It ruins it for everybody. Had to keep it fair, but I was just like, hey guys, one of you is really, really close. But anyway, so yeah. So Lisa and Angela, I have some goodies for you. Just some little yarny goodness. Some little just fun trinkety things. So anywho, Professor Collymore, the Gnormville Gnome House with the yarn. Final answer winners, chicken dinners, all of those things. So you 2 got it. Congratulations. Thank you all so much for playing. This was such a blast. I can't even tell you. So a lot of you were like so close. There were a couple more of you that like were like one thing away a couple times. And I was just like, oh man, like it's getting serious. But anyway, we did it. So finally someone can come and collect the body. All of those things. That'll be great. So along with the mystery game, we had a mystery blanket. So it was like they all, aka the family, there were 5 of us, picked a color and we had an activity and all those things, and somewhere along the way I kind of just fell off. So I stopped working on my blanket. A few of you have sent me photos of your blankets finished. You all did a phenomenal job. Shirley used the same colors, so I guess if anything we can just all look at Shirley's blanket and be like, hey, it's kind of like it would have turned out. I will eventually get that to you all. I have a crochet ramblings I need to make for you guys. I have a bucket of amigurumi that I've been working on, just not that blanket, and so I'm sorry. So anywho, all that to say, kind of worked out that it's taken me, or us, should I say, us here detectives, longer to figure out and solve the case because Miss Heidi got her blanket finished, and y'all, I cried. I showed the kids, showed hubby, they were all like, and I'm like, I know, right? Like, I mean, I legitimately feel honored. I like was taken aback, to say the very least. So I will show you her blanket. Although I don't know that the pictures even remotely do it justice. It is the coolest thing ever, and it is the coolest thing ever. So I'm going to just add photos at the end. This isn't one of those voiceover type things. I feel like her blanket says it all. So there are the different places on Gnormville. I will do it like square by square to where y'all can really see the whole thing. So it's all the places that we were during our eventful evening that was the Solvin Ain't Easy game. So the yarn store's on there, the candy shop's on there, the spooky house, which ended up being a thing, was on there. The top row is dedicated to the poor little campground guy. There's a craft fair section where it's like things that I made at the craft fair. There's that blue and black bee, the giant black squid, like Pop-Tarts, things like that I made. It is so cool. There's a down there rabbit hole. There is a yarn corner, which even has a crinkle alert pillow. It is like this whole thing in the crinkle alert pillow, and I'm telling you, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is the coolest thing ever. I can't even. And she kept not sending photos in, and I was like, okay, maybe she hadn't working on it for a little bit. I kind of thought that. And then we had a live and she mentioned that she was working on it, and I asked for updates and she told me it was a surprise, and then I understood why it was a surprise. So then around it, for the border, she used a rainbowy yarn, and she said it was difficult, but it was well worth it. And if you'll notice in the photos, the border, they're all little gnomes, and they all have little rainbow hats. It is the coolest thing ever. I'm telling you, I am in awe. I'm absolutely taken. I truly feel honored that it's like things that are around here, and she made it into a blanket. It is the coolest blanket that I've ever seen. And Heidi, I don't mind if it's so, or Heidi, I wonder, I would like to ask if you don't mind at some point if like I just use that picture as like a background for shorts or for something, because that's what Bee's like, that needs to be a background photo. And I'm like, you're right, that is so cool. So if it's cool with you at some point, make a short, because I really have been having a lot of fun making shorts lately. Anyway, it is the coolest thing. I can't even tell y'all. Absolutely honored. So I will do like a frame by frame thing. Said I would normally do like a voiceover, but it's not going to do it justice. Y'all will get it once you see everything. You're gonna be like, oh, that's for that. Oh, okay, that's for that. And then see little gnomes all around it and just all of it put together. And even in the norm, or the yarn corner with the crinkle alert, there's a little bitty Norm. And she said that Norm was kind of difficult and he was kind of a pain. And I said, well, that's very Norm-like. I don't think we would have expected anything differently than him being quite a pain. So just saying. So it is the coolest. And I thank her because it is so neat. And so thank you, Heidi. Thank you everyone who sent in your projects. I appreciate you all so very much. Thank you all who played along in our Solvin Ain't Easy game, because it ain't, you know what I mean? And so I appreciate you guys so much. I want to do this again next year. Maybe we can add a little extra fun or something to it somehow. I don't know how though. I had a blast, but somehow maybe we shall see. Anyway, but yeah, so Miss Lisa, I know how to get a hold of you. I guess Angela, I know how to get a hold of you too. Never mind. I was gonna say if y'all would email me, but I know both of your emails, so never mind. So anywho, yeah, y'all got it, which is so cool. I was just gonna do whoever did it first, and I was like, well, that's kind of not fair, because what if people, you know, you watched it at different times, and so whatever. So 2 people, 2 winners, which is amazing. And so I thank you all so very much for this. It was such a blast. And so finish this up, like Shirley said, so that we can get on with things, because it's been quite an eventful evening. And so I thank you all for sticking around. I'm sure you're all exhausted and need to go home and to your families and go to bed, because it's been very, very eventful around here at Gnormville and here in the Yarn Corner. And so thank you for being part of our last meeting. I guess now that we know who we can and can't trust, perhaps now it's cool if we touch things. They're not all evidence. And also if you go ahead and talk to your neighbor, because am I right? Like it's been eventful. I feel like we should talk about it with somebody, so might as well. So all right, so I thank you all so very much. You guys are beyond amazing. I hope you've had as much fun with this as I have, because I think this needs to be a July tradition here on Stitchin' Ain't Easy. So I thank you all. I hope you have a wonderfully, wonderfully blessed evening. Please stay safe and watch out for your neighbors on the way home, even though, you know, the evening is over. You never know. So I will talk to you all soon about yarn. Hopefully not about this little conversation that we've been having, because very tragic. So